Oh, shit. No, I'm not ready. What?
Better Joe or Cassie or whoever else?
Just me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was you. I thought I had a pop-up. Yep.
All right. So from the top, here we go. Welcome to Eastchester Vault Week 9. We are here with the 2011 squad. One of my personal favorite squads because it was one of the first teams I ever coached on JV, and then they eventually moved on to varsity and had a good senior season. So we're going to look at their 2011 game. I think right now we have a total of 8 alumni with us, so we're just going to kind of go through. We first want to start with one of the captains. I know he has to go and shower quick, so we're going to introduce him now. Number 39, senior Joe Arcidiacono. Joe has a really, really good game on defense, as you're about to see. So welcome, Joe.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. After that, let's go to our starting left tackle. He was number 71. He was a senior. That's Nick Carlisto. Nick coming in. Thanks, Nick.
Hey, Tony. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Right next to him, I believe he was the left guard. He was number 70, and he was a senior at this point in time. Louros. Alex, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me, Tony.
All right. Keeping on the offensive line train, he is really not an offensive lineman, but went there out of necessity. This was a team that had a lot of skill guys and not a lot of linemen. So he was a quarterback at one point. He was a running back, a fullback. He played some tight ends. But for this season, I believe he was the starting right guard and a great will outside linebacker. Number 59, senior captain Tom Cirillo. Tom, welcome.
What's up, Tony? Thank you for having me.
And also a really good lacrosse player. If you ever have time, go look at his career at Eastchester and Salisbury. You'll see some really great games. But we'll look at him as a football player for now. Let's see here. I guess we'll go to the junior. He was our starting quarterback at the time. We refused to put him in on defense, so he just played only quarterback. He was number 7. He was a junior, Greg DeCarlo. Greg, thanks for coming.
Thanks, Tony.
Going to my wide receivers and our corners, but we'll start with wide receiver, Jesse DeCesare, number 2. He played some wide receiver. I don't think much defense at this point in time, but he was a very trustworthy receiver. So welcome, Jesse.
What's up, everyone? Good to be here.
Right. And Chris Balbo, number 1, he played some cornerback and he also played some receiver as well. There wasn't a ton of throwing in this game, but you'll see Chris out there, both receiver and cornerback. So, Chris, thanks for coming.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for having me, Tony.
You're welcome. No problem. And we may have some more people jump on a little bit later, but last but certainly not least, he was a 3-year starter. He played pretty much only offense. He played fullback, wingback. He was one of the primary ball carriers you'll see on this. It was number 36, Rob Carinci. Rob, thanks for coming.
Thanks, Tony.
All right. So I don't think I forgot anyone, right? Everyone here? We may have some other people join up a little bit later. Number 12, Justin DeMasi may join up. Eddie Suriano has a very big play in this game, a senior, number 55. We'll keep an eye out for him. But for now, this is what we have. We may see some people join up later. So right now I'm going to share my screen. As I mentioned, guys, we're going to kind of go through. Hold on one sec. Let me do a new share. Sorry. All right. What we're going to do is just hear a little intro to the game, a little preview. If there's anything I missed or we need to add, please let me know. We can, talk about it after this 3-minute introduction. But let's take a look here, and then we'll get into Eastchester Nyack 2011. Welcome to Eastchester Vault Week 9. So we are going back to the year 2011, where the 2-3 Eastchester Eagles are facing the 2-3 Nyack Indians. Now, there's a couple of things interesting surrounding this game. First off, it is homecoming, so Eastchester's going to have a very big crowd at the game, which is going to add a little bit more hype around the game. But moreover, Nyack, who is generally a Section 1 Class A powerhouse, having a little bit of a down year. So Eastchester sees an opportunity here to maybe knock off Nyack. And when you add those two things together, you also have a situation. Eastchester knows that if they win their last 2 games, they're probably going to get into the playoffs. So there's a lot of pressure surrounding this game. There's a lot of hype surrounding this game. And Eastchester's coming off a very difficult loss to Tappan Zee the week before. They had a game that they lost 20-19, a game that could have definitely went either way, and a couple of plays and calls towards the end of the game that really hurt Eastchester. So it's been a long 9 days since their last Thursday matchup. So Eastchester's definitely itching to play. And Eastchester's had a little bit of up and down year. They've looked very good at times. They've looked very bad at times. And it's kind of typical of what you'd see from a 2-3 team. But what you'll see from this particular team is a very strong defensive effort in this game. In fact, Nyack had been putting up a lot of points in games previous to this, but Eastchester's defense is going to step up big time. Nyack has a little bit of a younger team, so Eastchester is going to try and use their experience to stifle their offense. And there's going to be a lot of big-time tacklers, meaning guys that had a lot of tackles in this game. You have to start with senior number 39, Joe Arcidiacono. He had a team-high 12 tackles in this game. He seemed to be all over the field. Senior number 12, Justin DeMasi, also had a lot of tackles, 9 tackles. Pat Guido had 7. And a lot of other guys contributed as well, Pat Guido number 3. So their defense really led the way, but it's going to come down to a defensive lineman, Eddie Suriano, number 55. He's going to make a huge play in this game that's going to definitely alter the final score in this game. So we'll take a look for that a little bit later. On offense, Eastchester was running the triple option at the time, led by junior quarterback Greg DeCarlo. A lot of guys contributed in this offense. You'll notice Rob Carinci, senior number 36. He's going to have a lot of touches in this game. Definitely going to have some big runs. Jack Calby, junior number 21. He's also going to get a couple big runs. Pat Guido, again, the senior, number 3, he'll have a few big runs. It's a lot of contributing guys on the offense. But what makes this game kind of fun is there are a lot of turnovers. There's a ton of fumbles in this game. I think both teams would say that there are too many fumbles by themselves, but that makes for a pretty exciting game. So even though there's not a lot of scoring, you'll see the final score is a low-scoring game. There's a lot of great moments, a lot of fun, a lot of intensity, and just a great defensive showing by Eastchester for their homecoming game. And the end of the game, the last drive, is extremely fun. Something extremely bizarre happens at the end of the game to make this a game that a lot of people should see. So without further ado, we're going to now start Eastchester Vault Week 9. We're going Eastchester versus Nyack 2011.
Anything I missed, guys?
Nailed it.
The Tappan Z loss was tough. I'm glad you mentioned that, though.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a tough game.
Yeah, one of the tougher ones I've ever been a part of, for a lot of different reasons, but definitely like one that I felt like we could have won multiple times, and the fact that we didn't really hurt, and it was a big game to get in the playoffs.
Albo, that was your sideline catch that game?
Yeah, Greg had a great scramble out and threw it. I just got lucky really there. And then Greg got out of bounds the next play, and the refs kind of screwed us. But,
Yeah, that was horrible.
Didn't I screw up the snap?
There was like a penalty, and then
I don't
I
remember.
went over, and then I tried to run out of bounds, and there was a second left on the clock, but it was what it
Got
is.
rigged.
Yeah, I would have loved to see another kick there or another opportunity. But there's just so many things in that game that, like, we had them, then we let up, like, a 4th down, then we had so many, like, stupid penalties, like, to keep them in it. Like, I don't know. It's just not a –
I feel like there was a lot of home field advantage that game.
yeah, Thursday afternoon game. They had a good crowd. Yeah, that was a tough one.
They're weird
Oh, bus
offense.
ride.
They still run it somewhat.
Can you hear me?
Oh, we got you.
Yeah.
Joe. We hear you. So I do want to mention, though, when you guys were juniors, you had Rick Delgado, slated to be maybe one of the best offensive linemen, defensive linemen to come through Eastchester. And obviously, with his heart condition, he had to be sidelined. So just talk about what it was like losing him, but also having him in as a captain. Because you see a lot of him in this film, even though he's on the sidelines. So maybe just let's talk about him a little bit, or if you guys remember when you guys learned that he was going to be playing with you guys his junior and senior year.
I got you on that one. So I obviously, like you mentioned before, I made that switch over to his guard position, and honestly, that was a big step back from what Ricky would have been for us. But he was a leader for us. He was a vocal leader. He was kind of like a spiritual leader for us, and he was everyone's biggest fan at the same time. He was like he kind of became a coach. So I think he made the best of a really poor situation for him.
Yeah, and you did a great job stepping in, Tom, not to cut whoever off. Like you went above and beyond, going from one of the best skill position players to just selflessly going to a starting guard, and you did unbelievable both years you played there. So I really want to congratulate you for that. And I think that made you, a tough physical player, maybe helped you in your future lacrosse days too. But who else was going to speak?
I was going to add that I think just his leadership, you touched on it, but really set in this year. Because when I think about our team, I don't think about Ricky not being on the field at all. When you asked us to come on here and invite Ricky, feels like he's just our senior captain. And that just shows that the impact he had. He was at every practice. He was in the middle of every huddle. And he never lost sight of the fact that one, you felt horrible for him that he couldn't play, and two, we could have obviously used another big lineman out there. But he certainly made his impact felt, both in 2010 once he, couldn't play, but I think even more so this year as a senior captain.
Yeah, and I'll just speak briefly. From my point of view, it was definitely a big loss. Ricky and I played alongside each other dating back to Modified. We were right guard, right tackle through Modified and JV. So, Ricky was a big part of my growth. He taught me a lot. Having a great player like that next to you makes you a better player. So I definitely felt that loss, but he stepped up in a big way, being a leader for our team and, motivating us each step of the way.
And for those who don't know Ricky, guy was 6'3", almost 300 pounds as a sophomore. So he was slated to be unbelievable, and he was unbelievable when he played.
Yeah,
real quick, as good as Tom was and as good as Tom stepped up, there was no replacing him. The bottom line, he was an animal. He was a different breed. So it was definitely a big loss. Everybody felt it.
Yeah. Going through the program, you had a couple guys before, Mike Bresnicki, Lou Crispo. Those guys were good linemen, but also just massive too. And Ricky had that body frame. And what he was doing as a sophomore, you had a lot of belief that, okay, this is going to be a guy his junior and senior year, this is going to be a force to be reckoned with sort of thing. And when we lost him as your 2010 season, as juniors, it was a big loss. But yeah, like you guys said, he never wavered and was a very good leader for us. And eventually became a coach for a few years, 3 or 4 years afterwards. He was a coach for Eastchester. So obviously he stuck around and loved it. Anything else we want to add before we start the game?
Yeah, just to add to Nikki's point, one, obviously missed Ricky so much those years, but very funny, Rick and Nick both were the starting linebackers for Modified too that year.
Yeah, starting inside linebackers.
Jeez.
There you go.
That's some beat from the middle there. Well, despite us not getting off to having the best game offensively, we're going to get off to a pretty good start offensively in this game, as you'll see. This offensive effort was hurt a lot by penalties and fumbles. So you'll see that here. We have our cool little reverse to start the game. It's Pat Guido going. Quality of the film's okay? Not bad, right?
Not bad.
No, it's good.
First play, we put in this play for Nyack. We had a little motion. You'll see a lot of this. A toss out to Carinci. Good block by Balbo.
Go.
Rob, take me through this play or just, getting going, starting in this game here. You had some great speed, vertically, but you also had some good speed to the outside.
Yeah, this was we never used to run these plays, and I used to bug Boyer to try to get me outside a lot, and I finally got in his head, and he said, all right, I'll put you in the backfield and give you a pitch, and it was the best day of my life. And the motion was good to get the blocking going. Balbo just made a nice block there, and it looks like Eddie running down the field hustling, so just good to get on the sideline there.
Yeah, you know what I love, too, is I remember everyone being very hyped for this game. You can see it on the sideline here. Everyone's kind of on the field, jumping up and down a little. This time we got Greg running. Little speed option. 4-yard gain.
The other thing about this game, too, Tony, is I feel like I remember this at the time. It could have been our last home game because we went on the road to Silmers next week, and then ideally we'd make the playoffs. We probably wouldn't have hosted a game.
Right.
So I feel like, I used to get really pumped for the home games. So I think, as you should. Homecoming, too. So we were definitely fired up.
Yeah, and I do remember this being a pretty big crowd. I think there are times you see it. First third down of the game, we're to get Pat Guido on a jet. Louros, nice block getting out there. And I'll get our second first down.
Nyack, they tackled, though. These guys were good.
Yeah, they had some big boys on the team.
Yeah, they were a big team.
Number was huge. I don't know if he was going to Georgia or something, but I just remember he was massive.
Oh no, he went to never mind.
I was just thankful Donald Davis was gone.
I was just gonna say that kid from junior year was a monster.
That guy ran me over so badly.
Oh God,
that was supposed to go to me.
That play, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a fullback toss pass, right? So
yeah.
Jess, do you remember being open here? It feel like it was pretty flat?
I remember being open. I also remember, Balbo probably loves this, I was the left split end all year. I don't remember why, but for some reason I got in for this play. So I hadn't practiced it really at all, so I was pumped. But I do remember being open, and looking back, seeing Rob getting tackled, I figured,
I could tell you why. We were in that truck formation, so we have, I think, Spice here as the tight end. Maybe to get an extra blocker out there. So
I think that's right, 100%.
You can't even be mad at Guido for not making this block. The guy he's facing is like
full head of steam.
220.
You can kind of see the corner by me. His head was inside, so I don't know if there's a safety over the top. I think we probably would have had it.
We'll talk about the corner exchange in a little bit. Rob, no offense, I never remembered you having a very good arm, but you this throw.
I think Jesse. How many yards you, Jesse? Maybe 30 yards down the field. That's probably my max. So hopefully it wasn't too far.
Rob had it.
With gloves on, running backwards, I think it's better than.
Who threw the toss pass versus Byram in the snow? Was that Pat? No, wait.
I think it was Calby. I think it was Calby.
I threw it to Pat.
Calby.
Pat ran for the touchdown.
Yeah, it wasn't a running back pass.
Pat had the 4 verts.
Yeah.
Like Pat did something stupid. Like he took his gloves off as the play was going on or something. I remember something.
Yeah,
he was wearing mittens all game.
Yeah, mittens on. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, someone yelled at him in the huddle there. Take these off.
For those who don't know the game we're referencing, there was a game, one of the only games I've played in the last 20 years, coached in. It was complete snow. We played a snow game, and I remember
in October.
The beginning of that game, we were pumped. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be awesome. By the fourth quarter, I couldn't care less who won the game. It was
freezing.
The worst thing we did in that game was go in at halftime.
Agreed.
Yeah. I think they shortened it though, if I remember correctly.
I don't know what they did. We got a 2nd and long here. Got the veer inside handoff here to Carinci. We didn't throw much this game. I'm not quite sure why. We just didn't throw a lot in this game. There's a toss out to Guido.
That whole year, I don't think we threw much.
I was gonna add,
10 catches my
senior year. Our line was so good, we just ran the ball. People's throats.
Alex, I love it.
Well, we moved to the spread 2 years later, and then everybody was catching balls.
I mean, I'm watching myself. I'm missing a lot of blocks, so.
We're running out. This is a very nice block by Carlisto at the left side there to get the seal.
You go, Nick.
Jack Calby with the good block. It's a big first down. Keep the chain moving.
And he's pumped.
Pat was a hard runner.
I got Jack Calby going. Tom Cirillo out there. That's one of the funny things about you, Tom, is
there's the fumble.
Used to be a quarterback, so you were faster than a running back sometimes. So you pulling was.
Tom was always downfield with the runners.
I think that was the only good facet of my lineman game was just I just blocked in the open field. I wasn't too good in tight, so that's where I wanted to be.
I think you were pretty underrated going right at.
I remember Rob's crazy touchdown run versus Roosevelt. I think Tom got to the end zone before him.
Yeah, that was nuts. Tom did every zig and zag with him.
Yeah.
I don't recall that, but sounds good.
All right, so we fumbled there, but Jack was ruled down, which was good. But we're moving the ball good here. Things are going well. We get a handoff to Pat, and here we get official fumble. And there's going to be a few of those. Really good drive. We get nothing out of it. Pat was pretty good about hanging on to the ball, too.
All right, let's go D.
We got our defense going. First play, they run a toss. Nothing there. Looked like Pat Guido in on the tackle. It was a very good defensive effort from a lot of different players.
Forgot Will Tracy was playing linebacker for us that year for a hot second.
Yeah, there he's filling.
He's a sophomore.
Joey Arch with his first tackle. Joey's might have been the only tackle you had where you got him above the waist. Attaboy.
Hey, I'm a big ankle tackler.
Joey,
wasn't Will the linebacker the whole year?
Yeah, I think Will was. Yeah.
Hey, look at the block they just laid on Will there, Will Tracy, on that last play.
Let's see.
I kid hit him good.
Tom, this isn't Nyack, though. Come on.
Oh. Well, that's Nyack. They're physical. They're going to come right at you. Will's a sophomore in this game. starting. Not easy.
I wasn't taking anything away. I was just saying that was a good block.
Will had a good year. He was pretty solid.
Yeah.
think
They have a nice throw to the sideline there. Balbo looked like it was on you. Do you remember this play at all, or should I just move on? It looked like you were in pretty good coverage.
I don't remember if it was that play, but I remember one play. That receiver was pretty tall, so I was worried about getting beat up high the entire game. So I might have been playing a few yards back compared to what I probably should have been at.
Let me tell you, you're right there. This is a great throw and catch. I mean, you're right underneath it.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I don't think as a coach we'll ever be mad about that. The first down for Nyack. They try a little ISO play. Tom Cirillo, first tackle for loss.
Nice, Tom.
We go through all the wills we've had over the last 20 years. You know, Tom's in the conversation of being one of the better ones we've had.
Thank you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you're pretty good. Inside handoff this time. Pat Guido filling up.
Nice.
We really do love the ankle tackles, I have to say, that year.
So-
Everybody used to shoot low.
It's so funny. We used to so now we teach what's called these ankle tackles. You guys call them. We actually coach them as hawk tackles. So we actually coach this now. We kind of got away from the biting the ball and the higher tackling, you know, because we have a lot of smaller guys. So we do practice these hawk tackles. But you guys were doing hawk tackles before hawk tackles were hawk tackles. If that makes any sense.
Tony, this past year was my
We're
first year
pioneers.
Yeah.
high school football, and they like had to relearn all of the tackling stuff.
Oh yeah, so you're coaching, right?
Yeah, had to like relearn all the terminology.
Yep. You got to keep your head out now. It's a lot different. Yep.
What down is it?
This third down and 5, they try a little inside handoff and looked like DeMasi, Eddie were all there.
Big stop.
Yeah, big stop. They try an inside handoff on 3rd and 5. I remember them having a pretty young quarterback, so they were going to be running it a good amount. A not good punt there gets us the ball back.
I think I had one punt return that entire year.
Oh, that sounds typical of us. We go back. Good block by Jesse on the edge there.
I think it was Balbo. Oh, no, it was me. Sorry.
Yep, that's Joe.
Yep.
So it looks like they don't react much to motion.
Yeah, the linebackers aren't really moving.
Yep, safety's not really coming up too hard. They do something funky with the corners. We'll show in a little bit in the second half of the second corner, but they're not doing it just yet. So, Greg, just running the triple option and stuff, how hard was it just to kind of stay disciplined and just like whatever your read did, you know, you were going to do for the play in terms of just like, I know sometimes you just wanted to probably pull the ball and run, but what was it like being a triple option quarterback?
Greg?
I agree.
Gregory? Did we lose Greg? We might have lost Greg.
Yeah, we lost Greg.
All right, we lost Greg.
I will say, I never envied Greg's role. Just like it seems so intimidating to you have like.
There he is.
I mean, I guess it's any quarterback, but having to make a split decision.
Greg, you there, bud?
Yeah, sorry about that.
No worries. I was just asking, like, you know, so this is a play we're running triple option. It looks like you have a little room to maybe pull it and run here, but your read is correct just to give the ball. So, like, what was it like not only, like, being quarterback but also just running the triple option? Is a lot of pressure on you?
I mean, every play, pretty much you have to make a decision where it's not like a conventional offense where you're just handing the ball off.
Right.
So pretty much you have to think 24/7, whether it be the read or the pitch. It was kind of nonstop. And then, of course, with Boyer, you heard it every single time. You didn't make a right read. So,
yeah,
you know, it was definitely a lot.
Gotcha. Yeah, you do a good job, especially as your junior year. You know, it's tough. Another good pitch out there to Calby. Calby gets tackled there. So we have a 3rd and 1 coming up.
That's one thing. I feel like I haven't, like, this was the game where I pitched the most, like, in my entire career. Like, because it usually never got to that point. But I feel like in this game, there's might have been, like, 5 or 6 where we actually pitched the ball out.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think they run that 5 front, you know, Greg. So you're going to be, you know, pitching off that, you know, defensive end who's right there. So you're not really getting that overhook linebacker. We get a 3rd down, very good push from the O-line. and we get another first down. So we're moving the ball fine here to start versus Nyack. And we have a fumble.
Rewind.
Going back to it.
Was this you, Rob?
It's either me or Greg. Let's see.
Let's see. Probably me.
Well, it looked like it was a problem with the match.
Yeah, I think it was the mesh.
Yeah, it just happened in between. Who knows?
We'll call it a team fumble.
Team fumble. That's a tough one, though. Good field position for them.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating because I actually remember, this we're moving the ball fine. Everything's going good. We just weren't hanging on to the ball, and that becomes frustrating. It starts putting pressure on the offense and the defense. Time they run sweep. I get a little push there for a first down. Pat Guido was up there, just missed the tackle. On the same play, other side. There's Guido coming up. I said
Guido's great at flying to the ball.
Yeah, I said the same thing about Cirillo, but Guido, if you go through the safeties the last 20 years, just had a very good nose for the ball in terms of coming up and tackling.
The amount of tackles he used to make in the backfield from the safety position was ridiculous.
He was good. All right, so we got a second down coming. Nyack's in the I formation. Try a little quick hitch out to big guy there. The completion. I don't think anyone's covering that 2-yard hitch. Third down, big, maybe touchdown saving tackle by.
Good save.
I got blown back here.
I think Justin, the linebacker, just goes a little too tight. I think he was blitzed and just missed the hole there.
Yeah.
Same play again. Great tackle there by DeMasi. Back to that one. Give him some love. They just ran that play successfully. They're going to go back to it. This time, Justin was a pretty smart player. Filled up nice. Got a very nice tackle. Joey Yards, Chad Marino jumping on in.
Tony, as a coach, is that like, if I'm playing like Madden, I run a good play, and I run it again. But is that something that you guys do often? So like, run it until they stop it.
Well, it depends. Every coach is different. Well, I was coaching defense at this point. You usually had a good understanding if they like to play, if they're going back to it right away. Some teams will have like Rye is a good example. If they have success running the play to the right, they're going to run the same play to the left, and they alternate. But yeah, you get a good sense of it. As a coach myself, offensively, it's something I like to do too.
Seems like early on they've gone to their strong side more often than not. Ooh, light went out.
Yeah, tight end, running to 15 a good amount. He's a big boy. This time, junior Rich Fonte comes up, makes the tackle, but gets a little forward progress. Oh, big hit there by Russell Reese. Do you guys even know where Russell went on to play college ball? I can't remember. I'm trying to think.
Fairleigh Dickinson, I think.
FDU? Yeah. Okay. So they don't block him here, which is great news for a DN. That doesn't happen often. And Russell makes them pay. Really big hit there. Oof. We talk about Ricky on the sideline too, right? Look at 77. Just keep an eye on him at the bottom of the screen.
Russell was not someone I would want to go up against, like, in an Oklahoma drill or something.
Physical.
Yeah, he's always a scout DN and it was not fun. I hated it.
And ran full steam.
Yeah.
Oh, it's miserable.
So Nyack just got another first down there. Now they're inside the goal line, and it's going to be tough. They run a quarterback sneak, which gets us there, gets us down to the 1.
All right, goal line.
They're gonna punch it in here. They get their big guy going. Ref has him down at the 1. Then we get a 3rd and goal coming up. Big stop, obviously, hopefully. They're going to go with the QB sneak, and they're going to hop on in. So not the start we wanted, obviously. 2 fumbles on offense. Down 7-0 now. That's a freshman kicker, I think. We'll come back to him soon.
Balbo, you almost got the block there. A couple guys did.
Me and Joey are in on those kicks a lot throughout the season. Joey's always like right there next to the ball, and obviously we'll see later on too.
Fun fact: I was never supposed to go.
You were supposed to get the tight end.
Yeah.
There go Pat Guido with a pretty big return. But unfortunately for us, there was a penalty. Now, we didn't have enough guys on the field. And every so often, Eastchester football fans, you'll see Coach Fred do this. He'll start walking to the offense in a kind of quicker way.
Is this where he screamed at us?
Tony, I'm glad you mentioned this. This is something I remember from this game. He came out and just casually was like, huddle together. He's like, hey, let's walk a couple yards back. I don't want them to hear us. So I thought he didn't want them to hear whatever play he was going to talk about. I can't tell you what he said, but it was the most he, I think, ever reamed us out that year. Just ripped into us, like, get your head, like, end the game, whatever it was. And I don't remember exactly what happened after, but I remember,
I remember that's clear as day.
Yeah, and I'm not going to miss a block on this next play.
I loved an animated Fred. I thought it was the best Fred.
He does this once a year. It has to be the right type of game. Things got to be not going well. We have to be kind of pinned on our own end. And what he does is he takes him to the back of the end zone and he just yells at everyone and probably uses some curse words or whatever to fire the guys up or get them refocused or whatever. And this is one of the instances where it works. So take a look at the drive coming up here. After 2 fumbles and a penalty, I think the boys start to focus. We got Rob up the middle here. Nice 10-yard run.
Great blocking by the left side.
Killing it.
This time we pitch it out. We got a highlight film play. Jessica.
He got the perfect option.
Let's take a look here. We'll go back to this one again. So Greg, you talked about how you pitched it a lot this game. You maybe don't have a lot of carries this game, but if you're making these pitches out there, it's almost like you're getting a partial carry yourself. And that's Jack getting it to the outside.
Yeah, once we got the edge, we kind of had, a lot of daylight to run, and I think that was who.
When you play, Greg, did you prefer the quick pitch or did you prefer to get around and attack and then pitch?
Well, I mean, with the 50 front, I didn't really have an option where it's right there. Then your face, you got to throw it.
Right.
But if not, I would usually try to get downhill and usually take off more so than pitch it. So,
yeah,
A lot of us downfield there.
Yeah, you got Cirillo, you got Alex running pretty quick. Eddie's moving down there. Jack Calby was a junior, had really good speed, so him on the edge was usually pretty good. Pat Guido gets a good block. It's a really nice play. And since the coach Fred lashing, we're moving the ball pretty good now. Now it's just like, okay, don't fumble. Just don't fumble. We're going to be fine. Pitches it out again. This time they were there.
Jack knew he missed that one.
Yeah.
He's like, I want that on film so they know I messed up.
I'm not sure if they're doing the corner blitz. I'm not sure. Yeah, they're starting to bring the corner blitz. And it was their adjustment to the tosses and the pitches. And they're going to have some of these plays in the backfield that hurt us. It's a good adjustment at the time.
That's when we should probably start throwing it over top, hit him a couple of times there.
Yep. The safeties would go cover, but it's not easy to get.
It's a big hit.
So, Greg, this is a really good pitch out here. Not easy to do.
I thought I had that ball for a second.
Yeah.
Oof.
I tell you, rewatching you guys on film, you guys were a lot faster than I remember. Because I've coached a bunch of teams now. You guys had a little more speed than I remember. Gonna try.
Linemen were very fast. Think about it. Like Alex, Nikki, and Tom all coming off the edge. Coming off the line were extremely fast.
Not to brag, but I got a bronze medal in the 4x1 sprint for track.
Even Carlisto himself here on this little this pull-out block by himself is pretty good. Rob, you must be loving it now. You're getting some of the balls on the edge here from the fullback position.
It was nice with these pitches out. These were nice.
Yeah,
good. Speed.
Good couple moves there. You shake a guy pretty good. He was coming to take your end your career. Watch him. Give a little
right for my right knee.
Yep. Little jab step inside. Coach Rick's hollering around the sideline right now. We're moving it good. Really nice hole there. Let's go back to that. Greg, you run through here. Our right side.
AJ, Seth, and Tom.
Yep, Seth, Tom, and Eddie just, really, do a good job opening it up. Greg, do you remember this play? Remember the name of it?
Gold, yeah.
Yeah, this is some quarterbacks love this play usually.
It was either love-hate because I was either going to get walloped on the back end if I missed the block, or I was going to, I know it was successful against Tappan Z, so, it really was a good play in this direction.
We talk about speed. Greg had some serious speed. You saw it in Somers the week after, but Greg, you were a guy who could run by people.
Then I'd be throwing up.
That was another tough loss.
I could live with that loss. You guys played really well.
That was a fun game. Good crowd, night game.
You talk about Tappan Z, Somers. We talk about losing Ricky. I feel like those were the games where maybe we would have edged it out. Especially Somers. I remember them killing us up the middle. If we had Ricky at the 1-3, I think that would have been the difference in this season.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of him on offense, but defense as well.
Sure.
Huge miss. That
Somers game, I was proud of you guys. You guys went down early and fought your asses off to get back in it, and you lost to a very good team. And that's okay. It's the Tappan Z one. We definitely probably want it back. But Eastchester's moving it now. Now we go to the I, one of our goal line things. Running behind big Tommy Cirillo.
That was fun. I like this formation.
All right, getting it down to the 5 here. Clock's ticking away. Probably less than 3 minutes here in the half. Rob Carinci needs water.
Oof, gobbled up.
This is for my current players that are watching this film. This is not you guys. Offensive lineman, this is why we don't pull on power on the goal line because they bring a lot of bodies. So watch this guy just come through and hit Carinci good. This is the backside 3 technique. Get you there. So that was just a message to my younger guys who are watching. That's why you don't pull on the goal line. Too many bodies that can make hits like that. So we have a 3rd down and 4. Tough situation here. Greg calls a timeout. Wonder where we're going to run there.
Probably pitch left.
I love those no plays. I forgot we used to do those with the motions. It's time we run outside veer to Rob. Gets down to the 1. For those that watch Eastchester Vault Week 2, this was a big play we ran versus Lakeland. Had a lot of success in 2013. Getting through there to the 1. If you guys remember, I was underrated because I don't know. It's now a 4th down. So this is interesting. We run the ISO. Rob Carinci's on the goal line, and he's short. But do you guys remember anything specific about this play? We get almost a 5th down. Does anyone remember why we get a 5th down, kind of?
Totally blanking out.
First down.
Rewind it back.
Joey got it. We were 1st and 10.5.
Wow.
So we got short, but we get a 1st down.
That must have been when I was telling the ref over there.
Yeah, so Tommy's saying it now. 59. You got us a 1st down, and we're going to run the same thing one more time. DeMassey's in the backfield. Rob jumped in. We ever teach you that, or you just did that on your own?
I'm sure Boyer told me one day to jump.
This time he's in. And Coach Fred's little lashing seemed to have paid dividends because we just had a 10-play drive go the distance for a touchdown. And our trusty kicker, Matt Zingaro, number I think was 18, ties it up here. So do you guys remember anything at this point being tied 7-7, or is it you guys 10 years ago just don't remember? Because I actually do remember something funky here I could share with you guys.
I'm blanking personally.
Yeah.
I
Like
guess
that's about to happen?
No,
Is,
so
is this the touchback?
I wish.
I just remember feeling like we really didn't play well and we were in a tie game. So I remember feeling pretty good about, how we were going to go into the second half.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like it felt like we were still in control the whole game.
yeah, we had three drives. So there's one thing here that was very important to me was we needed this stop because they got the ball at half. So I remember thinking if they get a score this drive and they get the ball coming out, I feel like after what just happened in Tappan Zee, we would be in bad shape. Like we were kind of down on ourselves from the last week. So like we desperately needed to stop. So there's only about 2 minutes left. And there's some really crazy plays that happened. And we'll start with this one. They're going to start with a fullback screen. So first, our wing screen. Take a look here, number 55, Eddie Suriano. You guys see where he is on this play? Okay, watch this play. Watch this play. Missed tackle, missed tackle, missed tackle. Guess who that was?
Wow.
I remember seeing that on film.
Now I
back in
remember
the
that.
day.
Hustle.
Take all the great plays he had this year and the bigger plays he's going to have later in this game. This is maybe his biggest play. Because, guys, he's scoring if he's not there.
Man, look at me, Tom, and
Oh God.
That's a bad screenshot.
Yeah, you owe Eddie.
Eddie was always hustling.
I mean, for him to make that play, that's why if you're whoever you're on the field, just to never give up on the play because I don't think they had like 7 guys in front there. They're going to score. And after they just, scored, after we just scored, that would have been a horrible answer. So kudos to Eddie on that hustle, never giving up from being all the way in the backfield there.
Yeah, Eddie's greatest asset was definitely his motor.
Definitely.
And then he wasn't tired. He must have been in good shape because watch this play. He's the strong end here, fights off a block, and gets a nice tackle there. Credit Mark Medico, too, came up and forced the play in really nice. Now they try and hitch and go. Balbo and Cirillo, perfect coverage here.
I was just about to say I was probably like 10 yards back at the start of that play.
I don't think you took a step up for the hitch. He's like,
How tall is that kid?
He was ginormous compared to me.
What do you think? We weren't in a cover 2 there, though, no, right?
I think we were just cover 1, but we're probably just having you just play off because it's, there's everyone else in the backfield sort of thing.
Gotcha.
Third down coming. They run a waggle. George Denty chases. Reese chases. Can't get there.
Ooh, Denty almost had him.
He did. He almost did. Joey Arch with the tackle, though, to force 4th down. They called the timeout. They do a QB sneak. They'll get it, barely. Try a little screen out there, a little quick hitch. Balbo's there for that one. This time they run an inside handoff. Joey Arch with the tackle again. It's getting a little tight here. There's like 30 seconds left in the half. They spike it now. I don't know if you guys remembered something about this because I was trying to figure it out. I'm not crazy, I don't think. So they run an inside handoff. The guy goes down, we'll say at the 14.
I got a face mask penalty.
Thank you for
Hands go up.
Sorry. Thank you for clarifying because I'm like, why are they on the 9? And I didn't see the flag. Okay.
Yeah.
So they spike it, and there's like 14 seconds left. They have no timeouts, and we get a huge play here. We're going to try a little pass out. Just dropped. Thank God. See who that is coming out. Probably released a running back, if I had to guess, or a tight end there.
It was 20. Yeah, I think it's in the third.
Yep, running back's coming out. Joey Arch is covering the tight end, and they just missed it.
Oof. That's a touchdown. Holy cow.
It was not good.
That's Tony, I think, actually. Is that you, Tony, right in the above the 4?
Yeah, yeah, it's a young 21-year-old me screaming. So I think I'm probably screaming and over, but I don't know why, because Tommy's in right position. He's going to blitz, I would think. Nope. That's why I was screaming probably. But they completed, and Justin and Tommy, end up making the tackle here. And this is just the perfect situation because they got a completion. There's about 5 seconds left. They're going to come and spike it. And the half ends. So you guys remember this series at all about them just kind of getting stopped there? Because I felt like if they scored, we were in bad shape coming up into this half here.
What I remember now in hindsight, it'll obviously come into play later in the game, but they were going for the end zone. They weren't looking to kick a field goal, which will, as we go into the game, we'll play later. But, yeah, I definitely remember feeling good at this point, feeling like you dodged a bullet.
Yeah, that was a big stop.
Pretty cool how hyped we are.
We were into it.
Yeah, I was halfway in their backfield, so thank God they didn't get a playoff. I was looking at the clock, which was never right on the scoreboard.
Obviously, that double hand smack right there, meaning
100%.
And you actually seeing the kind of crowd for the first time, because that left side of the bleachers, usually no one's ever in, and they're packed. There's a good crowd at this game. You can only imagine timing Zangaro's kick if you're on kickoff. Well, like 2
When you were showing that, I was about to say, did we start with an onside kick? Like, that's what it looked like. He was lining up to go inside.
That's just how we did it. All right, so we just to recap a little, we had 2 fumbles. We moved the ball fine. We had 2 fumbles that ended some drives. We had a nice drive, scored. But now they're going to start having some trouble holding onto the ball in this half. So we'll start seeing some fun defense. This is a very good defensive showing, you're going to say. We first start there with Tom Cirillo forcing a fumble, but he recovered it. Just kind of snuck away. Big hit there. Fumbled it. He caught it.
Must have been a Wilma.
I think they were in that end over formation, so you just kept blitzing. Another tackle from Joey Arch, even though it's a first down. This time in the backfield. Chad Marino with an unbelievable play.
Oh.
And many others. So we'll go back to this one. So we want to watch 75 here, and then I'll open it up to you guys if you remember this play at all. Chad Marino was the guy that took over for Ricky Delgado, and filled it pretty nicely, but he makes one of his best plays as an Eastchester Eagle here. He's going to use that old rake drill. After the guy's held up, you could see him just kind of strafe the ball out there, and Junior Rich Fonte jumps on it. So you guys remember this play at all?
Yeah.
Remember, Rich gets another one, right?
Rich will get another one, yep. But
yeah, I remember this vividly. This felt like the sort of turning point. It felt like a huge, like you said, we had our turnovers. It felt like we finally got one back.
I love the reaction from everyone. Everyone's pumped up.
Well, Chad was also someone who was he was a good character guy. So not that you don't want anyone to make a good play, but you'd get pumped when he made a good play.
Definitely.
Yeah. Certainly a really good play there. And I guess it's good field position. All right, here we go. Starting off with the ball here. This time the backside gets Greg. Maybe a misread here? I'm not sure. I'm not trying to bore you, Greg.
Hey, what was his outside veer?
I think it's just regular veer. I think the nose really just hops out. I'm not sure what I'm seeing. No, I think it's just a misread.
Probably.
Keep your head up.
Yeah, that's okay.
We'll get him next time.
This time we run the cold block. And okay, so this is what they start to do a lot this half. And I think Jesse comes in and mentions it. the corner just starts blitzing in like crazy. So this is actually a good play. Get a good block from Carlisto, good block from Louros, and that's the corner that just kind of comes flying all the way in an inside run. This is what their corners were doing this half that screwed us up. I can see you saying it, Jesse. You run it. Yeah. They just start blitzing in like crazy.
I did that many times throughout the year. I was always looking for any angle to get myself, or I guess even Balbo the ball. In Boyer's year.
Every receiver ever does that.
And I scored. That's how I got a couple touchdowns. Like the Scarsdale game, they literally. I think that was
wide open
defensive lapse, but they didn't have anyone covering me. So we didn't even know.
I remember that.
Like a play, and then I come to the huddle. I'm like, Greg. I was like, there's literally no one out there. Like, just at least look. And like he's giving me a nod. He's like, yeah. Whatever.
I remember that.
And like
Jesse's
all of a sudden, I
coming
see
down.
he looks, and he's like, oh man. And then so the whole line is pushing forward, and he does like a Tebow jump pass.
Jump pass.
Yeah. And then there's another one versus Fox Lane. The corner was just running in, and I scored.
Well, Fox Lane starts running the same thing Nyack does. I remember that. You scored up the left sideline.
Yeah.
The corner was like becoming nosy in terms of the run game, so you have to throw it over the top. The Scarsdale thing is just so funny because I never saw you, Jesse, and once Greg took the ball and threw it, I was like, what is he doing? It was like, quarterback sneak or something. And
Well, I mean, Greg can maybe speak to it, but I feel like you probably didn't even think you were going to throw that till maybe the last second. You're like, you know what? Like,
Yeah, there was no one there, so I'm just like, I'm gonna throw it to him.
it was hysterical.
I just remember being that play too, being like, holy crap, Jesse scored. We actually have a receiver who scored a touchdown.
my first ever catch.
Yeah.
Couldn't be easier.
Hey, Tony, let me ask you a question out of left field for you.
Yeah.
You like these jerseys better than the new ones, or do you like the new ones better?
So the ones in between – so we have brand new ones this year. The ones this year I really like. It's a mix between the late 90s and the ones you guys are wearing right now. I think they're really cool. The ones after you guys I thought stunk. I thought they were the worst jerseys.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of those either.
So the jerseys you're wearing I love because that's the ones I
sharp.
The new
They're
ones,
sharp.
I just wish they were a little bit more fitting. These were kind of baggy.
Yeah, I thought that earlier watching our highlights.
yeah.
It was 2011. That tight stuff wasn't in yet.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Those
they're
are
like,
new Matt helmets though.
it's like weird. Our first
If we had white pants with those white jerseys, that would have been fire.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, you guys didn't do the white jerseys. I forget what this play was called. I think it was Frisco at the time. I really don't remember if you guys run this, but we check it down to pad and it's covered and tough 3 and out after a turnover. We're bringing our punter. I think it's Jack Calby, right? First punt.
Our first punt of the game.
Yeah.
Jack had a
Thank you,
good punt.
Poncho.
Not here, I'm saying in general. Jack was a good punter.
Yeah, Jack was pretty good.
Yeah, he beat me out in Neuro camp.
Having an handoff, ankle tackle by Pat Guido. I think he broke his elbow. Looked like he broke his elbow there, but he's fine. He tried that sweep again. Guido again. And Joey Arch.
Third down.
They're down. Try handoff this time. They're going to just get there or come close, I think. Oh, no. I'm sorry, Carinci. I was second down. Now it's third down.
No problem.
Ed Suriano's coming in. I mean the chat. Hold on. We'll pause it. We'll give him his introduction. Eddie, can you hear us?
Hear you.
Hey, welcome. And he's come in. So this was the guy we were talking about before, Eastchester football fans. He was the guy that chased down the touchdown-saving tackle in the second half. I assume in the second quarter. Now he's here with us. He'll have a big play later in this game. So we're in the third quarter right now, Ed. Same thing again. Eddie Suriano there with the tackle. Joins in and then makes the tackle on the film there. Eddie and company again. Joining at a good time. right, so now we got third down. Really, okay, so do you remember this stunt here, Joey Arch? I'll show it again. So you kind of, you're right here, but you do something a little interesting. Take a look. Do you remember what that was called?
Either C-Fire or Sam Slant, one of the two.
This is a C-Fire here. So you slant in, you make the play with Eddie, and get a big third down stop. And something else happens here. So we have fourth down coming, and I think credit their coach. They run a good play off this. They just saw Joey Arch slant in really hard. So they're going to run a belly option. They're going to have the quarterback pull it and pitch it, but the quarterback doesn't run the triple option like we do, so something happens here. So let's take a look. They had some room there, but it looked like the guy dropped it and Rich Fonte jumps on it. Do you guys remember this play?
I definitely remember the fumble. Can't tell you remember the exact, what they ran, but
Did I go inside again? Did I slant and C-Fire again?
Ran the same thing again. So it was a good play call. Credit their coach. The guy kind of dropped it. I mean, Pat might have made the tackle for a loss there, but they fumbled it. And it's now back-to-back plays where they fumbled. I love our sideline. You can always tell a team or, guys are into it when you just look at the sideline. Because the guys on the field always care. But when the guys on the sideline are hopping up and down and pumped up, that's shows the team was into winning this game and going on.
Yeah, I think that's a benefit of we were a tight group, and I think I said at the beginning of this it would have been nice to have maybe bigger numbers on the team, like 30, 40 guys, but that's probably the benefit of having a smaller roster. We were all out there to play for each other.
Yeah, I actually love Carinci. I see him 36 on the sideline. I don't know why. I just see
he just wanted to get the ball.
Yeah, it's almost jump on it. He's practically on the field. Who the hell?
He hasn't scored yet. He's trying to get back out there.
I was the biggest hype man when I was on the sideline for you guys. That's how I did score.
You're literally on the field. I think I was the get back. I would have gotten into huge trouble if we got a penalty there. I mean, I'm you're literally on the field. It's hysterical. That's fun stuff. Okay, so now we get the ball in great field position again. I'm okay, let's do something here now. I'm going to start with a jet to Calby, and they blitz. And I'm oh, no, here we go again.
Oh.
Defense just got a big stop. I'm going to try and get one of our fastest guys on the edge, and they started timing the count, it looks like. Teams used to do this when we run the triple a lot, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Problem, yeah. They pitch it out to Pat. Pat gets a little something. All right, so now we get, Greg, probably one of your biggest plays of the game coming up here. Do you remember this play that's coming or no?
I don't know. It was a pass play. I think it was what? Just waggle right, right? Waggle
yeah,
right.
I believe so. So one underrated thing about Jack was Jack had good hands for a running back, so to speak. So we're going to find him here. Good protection. Really nice pass over the middle there to Jack. Take us through the play, Greg.
Yes, I know it was waggle right, and I remember that, because of their 5 front, that, it wasn't really going to be a true, rollout where I had to set up. So I kind of saw Jack streaking over the middle, and then I hit him for a nice game.
This was a really good pass. It's tough to maybe tell, but by the time you let this go, 34, their linebackers probably right behind him, but you actually, throw him open sort of thing. I remember watching this on the field. I remember that being a really good pass. And Jack to hang on there for completion was really nice. Gets us to a second down. Gets an inside handoff to Carinci. Not much there. They're big in the middle. Not easy to run on. And there's that blitz again. This corner blitz is just killing us the entire game. Because this is the that comes up.
Oof.
That ankle tackle, too. That one looked like it hurt, Rob.
Yeah, I'm feeling that now.
All right, so one of the best plays we used to have, I think, in our history was this play called twirl screen. We don't run it very much anymore, but we don't really run it ever because we don't run the offense. But this was something that Jack Calby specifically had a lot of success with. So watch our left side here. Carlisto's going to have a very good block. Louros out here as well. They're going to kind of chuck and release, and we get a very good screen here. Greg sets it up. Ball's tipped. It's caught. Carlisto, big block there. Remember this one, Nick?
I do. I remember being very pumped for the pancake. Ricky used to get us very hyped. So I do remember looking over the sideline at him after the play. I thought it was going to be a touchdown. No, because from my point of view, the field was wide open.
Yeah.
I remember being disappointed looking back and seeing him get pushed out of bounds.
Good play call.
Yep.
Nice, Nicky.
You know what I love here? I'm fairly certain Tom Cirillo is not supposed to do this, but he just kind of like, I need
Tom had some FOMO that we were running it to the left side, so I think he came on over.
I love that.
And Nicky stirs the batter towards the end of the play.
Yeah, Ricky.
Oh, let's see. Big first down there.
Man, that guy came out of nowhere.
Yeah, who is that? Is that the corner on the other? Or is that the base?
What was that, stirring the batter?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Ricky used to get real hyped on the pancakes.
That's great.
There it is.
Love that.
Let's go, Nick.
Big first down. Gets us inside the 5 there. DeMassey starts hopping around, and then, oh, no. Greg, was this one of those things where you probably just, like, ran before you had it?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Was this your year you guys played Spring Valley?
Yeah.
Muddy game.
Yes.
Rainy.
That was a muddy game.
Yeah, I think Greg had a big game.
Was that the end? Was that after this game?
No. That was our
That
second.
was
Yeah, that was
before.
the year.
We got
Rob and
roasted
I had the
against
SAT
Poughkeepsie.
right before the game
Yeah.
started.
Yeah, my parents showed me to the game.
Okay. So one interesting thing to the Eastchester football fans, Greg Dicarlo, I think, had a quarterback sneak for a 50-yard touchdown in that game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So that was the game before this, right?
it must have been.
Okay.
So
We had a lot of success running quarterback sneak, and I think this is probably just a play we're going to now run it here. But I'm kind of curious. I think this is something you did on your own, Greg, or did we call this?
I might have done it on my own because you could see on the left-hand side the two linebackers are playing up.
Right.
And then
Yeah, and I'm pulling, so
there's no one there, and on the left side between the guard and center.
Gotcha. I see.
was it a bad exchange? Maybe. I guess definitely, but
I'll take the blame on that one.
Yeah, we had AJ Cesarini playing at this point. What's so interesting about this is what I'm getting at is you ran that quarterback sneak on your own because you saw a hole and just went through it and worked for Spring Valley for a touchdown. So it's like kind of did it again here, and it didn't work. And I'm sure Robert wasn't too pleased.
No. Only on the sidelines, hand on the head. It wasn't one of my best games, but we got.
It makes it for an epic finish, though. Let me say something though about
It was
Robert.
open though, Greg.
If I didn't drop the ball, yeah, I probably would have scored.
Let me say something about Rob Carinci. There was very few players that were matured as much as him from his freshman to senior year. Freshman year, I mean, you were just like, I don't know, like a firecracker. I don't even know how to explain it.
That's being polite.
But your senior year, you were really mature. Like you had intensity. You were feisty, but like all in a good, productive way. So you doing a little like upset thing there is nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing new.
was it
freshman
sophomore
Rob would
year?
have cursed out Greg there.
You would have cursed Greg, Boyer, me, Fred.
I remember sophomore year. I think Rob got a penalty. Might have been like a 15-yard penalty. Coach Santa took him out of the game, and then Nico was our backup running back. He's like, I think we had a couple. Balbo might have been a backup running back.
Yep,
Nico was like,
the
I got
Rye
you.
game.
Yeah, I remember that.
The guy
Goes in, just fumbles. They return it for a touchdown, and it's game from there.
What was Carinci doing? See, I told you.
Yeah, I think Rob was happy, if I remember correctly.
No, not Monday.
Rob was
Glue, Rob.
Say it again.
You were the glue to the offense.
Thanks, TC.
So, we got the fumble. They try quarterback sneak themselves, get a few yards here. Eddie, give me a shout if you're with me.
I'm here.
Because we got the big play coming. So they put themselves in a 3rd and 8, and we are confused on the sideline a little bit, but let's just watch the play. We'll see the celebration. Then I want to talk to Eddie and then Joey, and then I'll open it up to everyone. So let's just watch and enjoy this one. And we don't have sound of the game, but I could assure you the place was going crazy.
Great play.
So, Eddie, take me through it. You have a great rip move, but just tell me what you remember about this play.
I remember Coach Fred walking us through like a boot that week and saying, if it gets to 3rd and long, get ready for, a boot or some sort of, outside motion by the quarterback. And I just, did a deep rip on the outside. I saw them, that play developing, and I knew he was going to be outside, so I went for the outside hip. And honestly, it was incredible coverage by the rest of the team there. I think Fonte was in good coverage. I won't speak for Joe, but he's in the right spot. Yeah. And Tom is trailing. I think it's the tight end that they had on the far side of the field. And, I think it's a coverage sack, really. But
the way you tackle him, Eddie, it was almost like bizarre. It was like you couldn't really fully get to him, so you kind of just push him. And then he kind of does this very dramatic, move and fumble, and he falls into the end zone. And do you know it was a safety right away? Because I was a little unsure on the sideline. I thought maybe he had forward progress, but you guys seem pretty sure.
Yeah, I didn't realize right away until I looked up, and then I saw the goal line, and I was like, let's fucking go.
That was so awesome. Let's go to the coverage aspect. So, Joey Arch, I remember calling you after this game as I don't know, I was 21 years old, 22 years old. I thought this was the best game you played defensively all year. But it was this play where, you just did a very basic thing of just chucking your tight end. But you actually chucked the tight end and covered 2 guys at once. So take us through this play.
Yeah, I just jammed him. I jammed the tight end and the running back. I don't know if the running back ran the wrong thing, but he literally ran right into my coverage. I don't know where Fonte was going, to be honest. He was kind of covering nobody there. When I looked up, Eddie was already in pursuit, and I just stuck with both of them, kind of.
Right, they ran so much of that sweep, so Fonte probably thought they were going to run the sweep at him, not maybe realizing it was 3rd and long. But it's your chuck of the tight end that he's running a corner that doesn't allow him to get out. That causes this whole kind of cluster, and Eddie gets through and gets the big sack there, and gives us the 9-7 lead. Everyone else, what were you guys thinking at this point? Because I remember as a coach just being this should be enough to win.
That was my thought. This is my favorite play of the year, just because it felt like we were so snake bitten. We weren't. I'd like to think we would have gotten the end zone again, but, obviously with all the fumbles. So just felt like we were stopping them a good amount on defense. It felt like this was the breakthrough. There's just everything about it. I love how there's that pause when Eddie pushes him, and then you think he's going to stay up, and then he goes down. I remember we went crazy after that.
I love Fred with his arm out he's not sure what we were doing.
Yeah, we were confused about something. I couldn't tell you what. But confusion went to jubilation after we got that play there. And I remember the crowd being fired up. I remember being very loud right now.
Yeah, I remember thinking that we won the game after this. I mean, offensively, we were never in a rhythm, but between Greg and Rob, usually once a game, we were good for a long touchdown, a 50-60-yard touchdown, and that didn't come yet. It ended up not coming, but I remember feeling pretty confident that we were going to get one of those plays and seal the deal. So I remember feeling like we were going to win at that point.
Right.
Safeties are so rare and cool. I mean, how often, even in Eastchester history, I can't remember too many safeties going down.
Yeah, I had one the week before, actually, in Spring Valley.
That's true.
Also,
Sorry,
notice
that's
Ricky. He
Eastchester
noticed the safety right away. As soon as he went down, Ricky's going safety the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. As our hype man on the sideline. Yeah, he knew it. He almost punches his sister. That's his sister, right?
Oh, maybe.
I think so. Yeah, I think it might be Tara.
Tara.
I think it's his sister taking pictures. He almost punches her. I remember him saying that. She's running. So that's the end of the third quarter. We take a 9-7 lead, and we got our offense coming out here. Honestly, really great kick by them. We should usually get this ball inside our own, inside the 40, and they're gonna keep us out of that.
Were we in our normal kick return there?
Yeah, you could kick off in high school, so we treat it the same.
No, but I'm saying our kick return because that's not where I would normally line up on kick return.
It looked like we were on onside.
Were we on Hans team there? Or?
Hands team.
Yeah, we're probably on Hans team. It's a good point. Yep. But here comes this corner blitz. Rob's not going to be the wing. They're going to toss it out, and that's the second time in the last 5 minutes, Rob.
Yeah.
An ankle, shin.
It was hurting.
Also, number 11 gets right through there.
Had no time to even get to him.
Tony, this is a good look at what you're saying about the corners on that play. Just jetting it.
Their coach, I think his name
right here, 32. He started walking in before, right on motion.
Their coach was very young. He's an AD now. He was smart, though. So this is something I started to see in clinics probably after this year. The way to stop the triple was to really use the corners in the run game instead of just having them cover up. And this was like advanced for the time. This is something we weren't ready for. We never really saw it.
Should have hit the waggle throwback after this.
And the safety or linebacker, someone came over to cover Balbo. So it was interesting. So it was basically a corner blitz.
Yeah, so
it wasn't like he was just cheating the play.
Yeah, so it's basically it works like this. It's pretty simple. So I know it now. The corner blitz is the safety gets the deep third of the field over here, and the other safety rotates over to the middle third. And if they do pass, 32 just stays in the flats. So it's a good adjustment to all the motion we used to do. And it was something we weren't unfortunately weren't ready for. When you don't practice it and the corner just starts blitzing like crazy, it's you have to tip your cap a little bit.
I probably got to get tighter, though, to be honest, on my split. If I move in, 5 more yards instead of being out so wide, maybe I get at least a hand on him.
Yeah, it's just one of those things like we never practice it. We're never ready for it. And Justin DeMasi with this first carry of the game, they're not going to get much, going to force a punt. Which sucks, but our defense is playing well. And for those watching, trust me, the last drive is crazy. I forgot how crazy the drive was until I had to rewatch it. We're not there yet, though. They try and pass it on first down here. They take a shot up top. Looked like that was Rich Fonte in coverage. Does a good job. 2nd and 15. Toss it out. Get the edge there. Guido with the tackle.
That was my fault.
They cracked on you.
Me too. I'm back way too far, though.
Yeah, they get the big guy cracking on Tom. And they get the edge. 3rd down and 3 coming. Inside handoff. They're just going to get it. Time they get to Massey on the tackle. Russell Reese helping out.
Nice.
Very nice play on the weak side there. Big hit there by DeMasi. Filling up nice. Take a look at that one again. Justin gets off the block and hits their running back pretty good. Patrick Kennedy hyping up the sideline. Always good to see that.
Love it.
This time they're passing. Eddie Suriano, good pressure. Denti, good pressure. And
Close.
makes the tackle.
That was Joey. Nice tackle.
Classic Joey.
Thanks.
So a couple of things here that, Joey makes the good ankle tackle, but Joey's actually coming from the opposite side, and he comes, like, decisively up and makes that open field tackle there. A lot of that this game, Joe.
I don't remember that play.
Got us a big fourth down. They decide to punt, which, interesting.
What is it, like 4th and 5 in Eastchester High School? I mean, in high school football, you got to go for that.
It's tough. Maybe their punters had a bad game, but it's like they've had 2 punts already. Neither of them particularly good. This third one wasn't particularly good either. So it's like if I'm going to punt it and only going to get 15 yards, you might as well just go for it. But we'll certainly take the trade-off.
I think that punt netted like 6 yards.
It was not good. I'm going to try that toss out to Carinci, get a few more blocks out there. But, we've run this play a good amount of times now. They're starting to catch on. I think Carinci's just happy to get hit in the shin again.
Yeah, I'm hurting now.
And we get a delay of game or something.
How much time's left at this point, you think,
So,
in the game?
probably 5 minutes. We try a counter to Calby. We didn't block the man-child. An ideal. I'm not sure. Maybe it was supposed to be Alex. I couldn't tell you.
Ooh,
Might have been me too.
There's a missed block. It's probably
D1.
And now we get an offsides.
We didn't have a lot of penalties this game.
We did or didn't?
And he's a big boy, and look at 11 next to him.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how big that kid
I was just
Oh,
thinking
he's got to
the
be at
same
least
thing.
6'6".
He was massive.
Isn't he the receiver too?
Yeah,
He's
probably.
everything. He plays every position.
Yeah. He's a big defensive end. So now we have ourselves coming up with the third down, and in a game where you're up pretty big, this is pretty much a running down because if you throw an interception here, Coach Fred will probably kill the offensive coordinator and Greg. So we're just going to run an option, and kudos to Jack for fighting here, but this is going nowhere. It's like, okay, well, got to rely on the defense. And we're getting ready to this final drive, which if you guys haven't seen in a while, is really fun.
Who's our long snapper? Is that Tom?
It's Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we run a lot of any fake punts that year?
Oh, yeah.
We did one
against
against
Somers.
One in Somers.
Somers?
Joe would still be running.
Yeah.
So they get pretty good field position, all things considered. But our defense has played well. They're going to start with that sweep play. They're going to get to the outside, but Guido and Archer there. 5-yard gain. Try it again. Cirillo's in on it. Get the first down. I don't know about you guys, but my heart was coming out of my chest here. I was thinking last week.
1,000%.
They're trying to
Because
again.
as much as I was confident in our defense, it had that feeling too where almost like they're bound to score at some point.
Right.
I don't have a hard time saying if this
Yeah.
game went another quarter, I don't think we would have won.
They also only needed a field goal, which just made it that much worse.
Yeah.
So this is play one of the bizarre plays this drive. So DeMasi comes off that C gap and he lays a big hit on their running back. And I remember believing he fumbled the ball. I'm not sure if you guys remember this play, but I remember being adamant that he fumbled and we have the ball and the game should be over. But they ruled him down or forward progress had stopped.
That's a tough one.
I do remember this now. I hadn't probably seen this play in 10 years. Now I remember.
I was just like, okay, here we go. It's Tappan Z all over again. Things not going our way. But then there's some more bizarre stuff that happens. So they're going to now get pressure. Devin's going to run. Will Tracy with a big hit here, I think.
Nice pop.
Watch our sophomore here. Got some good. But got out of bounds to stop the clock, which hurts. Third down coming. They're going to throw it. So I think Joey Arches has to do with you or maybe Pat Guido. So let's take a look here. See if you're.
We were both there. I remember this play.
Devin throws it, and it looked like it was intercepted. It looked like Guido had it.
Yeah, I thought you could see me on the sideline. I was right there. I thought for sure that was an interception.
So we have a crappy view here on this side of the field, but do you guys remember Pat's feet being in? Because he definitely catches it, but they ruled him out.
It's 1 foot.
I think I remember us just being like, oh, crap, not again. Like, we're going to get screwed.
Joey Arch is pointing.
The ref is right there, too. So that's a bad miss if he did miss that.
Mute. He definitely came down with it, though?
Oh, yeah, he had it clean.
Yeah,
I just don't know.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you if his foot was in or not. I was going out of bounds at the same time.
Yeah, that would have been it.
Pat had a great game.
Yeah, a lot of guys had a good game defensively. So now we're like, okay, that's 2. That's 2.
Yeah, it was like tapping Z all over again.
Right. So now we got 4th down. I'm like, okay, you know what? We get the stop. It's over sort of thing. And look at this play.
I remember this play. I remember just thinking we were screwed.
Okay.
Oh, no, wrong play. Sorry.
No, this is it. He completes a pass. It looks like he's out of bounds. Will Tracy's up. I mean, you were right there, Joe. Do you remember him being inbounds, out of bounds?
I thought for sure he was out of bounds, but I'm also on the team that they're playing against, so you can't really go by me.
I mean, from here, it looks like he's clearly out.
Yeah, it looks like he's 3 yards out of bounds.
So now that's 3 plays. And they just get the first down. It wasn't like he was way over. The spot itself, he may have actually been just short. Like by the time he catches it, he's right on that line of the yard to gain. And it's just like, okay, now that's 3 plays where the game could have been over. And they've gotten them all. A fumble, an interception, and now a 4th down catch. They try a sweep. Not much there. Try that play again. This time Joey Arch is there. And we get this penalty. Was this the play you remembered, Joe?
No, I guess it's the next play.
So they call a penalty here on Joey Arch for a hit out of bounds. I don't know. But whatever this ref was on the sideline, he was not with us.
No, not at all.
I don't quite know what the penalty is.
Yeah, I don't know what more do you really want me to do there. I don't know how that's a flag.
So they end up talking about it and waving it off, but it just seemed like, this ref was not with us sort of thing. So it just felt like we were fighting everyone. Now a 3rd down. Let's take a look at Coach Fred's speed here.
Yeah, Fred's run.
Coach Fred's like 45 at this. Look at him on the sideline. There he goes. And he's gone. Flying.
Jets off camera.
Oh, man.
Tom got the timeout, too.
Yeah, we weren't lined up or something correctly. And then they run a interesting play we haven't seen yet.
This is the play I thought we were done.
Well, I want to talk. Let's watch it. I want to talk to Balbo because Balbo saves the game, I think, even though it's not the most prettiest place. Let's take a look. They throw a bubble. And he steps out. So, Chris, do you remember this play at all?
I do, actually. I thought it was a lot worse on my part than that, to be honest. I just remember trying to do anything I could to at least get a foot out of bounds for him on that, and I basically barely made contact and must have just got his toe out.
Got just enough. looks like they ran a play we've never seen before. A good play call. They get the edge.
Ooh, we should have cut it up right there.
That was a great play call, to be honest.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, they throw a bubble screen for a team that doesn't really throw the ball too much, and they've been running all this waggle stuff.
And they executed it perfectly, too.
Yeah, they got the blocks and everything.
Got
I
cake.
remember thinking they did a good job spreading it out, like even earlier in the game part that I missed.
Yeah, it's so it's first down. They decide to run that sweep. Great pressure from Joey Arch. Doesn't make the tackle, but gets a stop there. And then they decide to do something because they don't have timeouts. There's less than a minute left. They decide to spike it, which in retrospect is not a good
Probably
thing.
the game.
George Dente thought he was intercepting it.
He almost did that in some way to end it. Then they're going to come out. I think they have a timeout left, or maybe not, and they're going to decide to pass it here. I doubt they have a timeout since they just spiked it. And Pat Guido undercuts this play, and if it's a good throw, we probably lose. But let's take a look. Just outside the arms. That was that same play they ran on the goal line before.
Yeah, wow.
Just missed it. Had to be a perfect pass, and it wasn't.
I remember my heart beating out of my chest at this point in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially, Nick, you're not playing much defense. Now, I remember them lining up for a field goal, and I remember I was a young coach. I was 21. I remember being like, oh, my God, they can kick a field goal and win. I almost forgot that they could because I just didn't realize they had a kicker. This kid is a freshman, if I remember correctly. So do you guys remember anything coming into this play before we watched the play or anything about, like, them kicking it or what was going on? Because I remember as a coach, like, not even realizing they could actually kick a field goal here. But obviously they could. They're only down 2 points.
Yeah, I remember Joey and I speaking right next to each other. Joey's like, we're just going to go, right? We're not even covering. And we're like, we both like immediately agreed. Yeah, we're just going straight on for the block.
Right.
Yeah, if they ran a fake, Fred probably would have just told me to never come back.
Yeah, we were done.
Tony, didn't you guys win on a fake field goal last year?
Yes, exactly. Like 3 months ago. It's exactly what we won on.
That's dope.
From a team we noticed that blitzed off the edge a lot, we said, okay, let's run a fake field goal here. So I'm glad they didn't have that same conversation you guys just did.
Yeah, Tony, I remember this like exactly what I was feeling. Like I had the same thought as you. Like I hadn't even crossed my mind that they would kick a field goal because also it might have changed since then. But like you would maybe face like 1-2 teams a year with an actual kicker, so
Right.
like it wasn't too common. But I also remember like feeling like they weren't necessarily confident in that, like throwing out their kicker. Like think about like an NFL or college game. If you're going to line up for the field goal, you get the second down, you run it, third down, run it, timeout or, spike it, whatever. The fact that they were still throwing the ball and going for it, I remember being like, they rather score a touchdown. Like they didn't want to put the game in his hands. And going back to what I said before halftime, like I remember thinking like, they've had the ball down deep and they haven't thought about kicking a field goal. So I remember thinking like, yeah, it's a 25-yard field goal, but there's a could be on our side.
I remember looking at Justin, looking at Pat, and being like, deja vu. It's gonna be Tappan Zee all over again. Story of the year.
Right.
And I just remember it was like we were doomed.
Yeah, I actually felt like when they lined up, it was such an easy kick. I'm like, oh my God, it's like an extra point, really. Like we're going to lose sort of thing. I'm like, this poor team that has, struggled all year and winning these close games, it's going to happen again sort of thing. When you're snake bitten, you feel like it's going to, everything's going to go against you.
Yeah. I mean, it's everything, right? Like we were a confident team. Like I think going to the year, we had that scrimmage before the year. I think we played a bunch of AA schools and we dominated that day. And like, we felt like we were going to, easily make the playoffs, even compete for, a section title. So I feel like at this moment, it was kind of almost like, it was like reality setting. It's like, they make this, like, all of the work we put in, not even this offseason, the last 4 years, like, it kind of goes out the window. So it's like, it felt like almost like a coin flip, like, and our destiny was like, in this kid's hands.
Yeah. Anything else before we play it, guys?
Just I felt like this whole play was in slow motion while sitting on the sidelines watching.
As soon as it goes up 100%, slow motion the entire way.
Take a look at the trees in the background too while the kick is going off too.
It's windy.
Yes, it is.
And it looks like a big thunderstorm's coming in.
Okay, Rob. So that was the last thing I was about to mention. If you look in that back top of the screen there's a storm coming in. And it's maybe 30 minutes away, but you guys know, everyone knows when a storm's coming in, it gets a little bit windier. And you say, what does that matter for a 20-yard field goal? Well, it's definitely going to matter. So I wish we had this in HD because what you would see is just craziness. But let's take a look. I wish this had sound, but we'll make do. So
This was the original Cody Parkey, right? This double doink?
Yep. There it comes.
Yeah, look how windy.
Let's just enjoy the celebration, and then we'll talk about it.
Awesome.
All right, I have so much to say, but I want to talk to you guys all first. So let me just explain what happened for those that can't see it on the film. The guy that kicks it, he's a freshman in a kind of windy setting. He gets under it, so it kind of like hangs in the air. There's no other way I can explain it. The ball hangs in the air, and it lobs down to hit the top right of the crossbar, the bottom part of the bar there. And then you think, okay, we're good. The thing takes a wicked hop straight up into the right and actually hits the right field goal post and falls maybe a couple of feet short and barely just missed. Okay, so for those that can't see it at home, it was a double doink is what Tom Cirillo said. It hits the bottom, it hits the side, and it falls to the ground. So I want to open it up to you guys for what you guys were thinking because I have a lot to say too.
I remember celebrating after it hit the bottom crossbar. I didn't even see it hit the right side. Yeah, I was just probably one of the best feelings of the season. Well, definitely probably the best feeling of the season.
I'm going to be completely honest. After I dove like that, you could see when I'm on the ground, I thought he hit it. I put my head back down, and then I realized everybody was celebrating. I thought he made the kick.
Okay. Let's go to Tom Cirillo for Nick Carlisto for a second. So Nick Carlisto, you'll see him on the bottom left. I actually love this.
Yeah, you see me celebrating after it hits the bottom crossbar.
Okay. The thing's barely like in the air, and you're like running away celebrating.
Yeah. I knew it wasn't good.
It's like Steph Curry shooting a three.
Yeah, literally.
And Joey Arch, you're the one. So Joey Arch is coming off the edge here. Dive, you just miss it, and you're watching it from the ground, correct, Joe?
Yeah, I thought he hit it.
Ooh, you were close.
Oh, I could see your head go down a little bit. I'm not sure if you could see it on maybe it's a little grainier on yours, but I see it. Your head goes down for a second once it hits.
You know, Tori, to your point, it was such a weird kick. It hung in the air for so long that, like, it ended up being closer than, you know, than you thought it was going to be. It was hanging in the air. It looked short.
Right. If you were from the sideline, which me and Nick were here, I said, there's no chance this is in. And then it was like, oh, my God, it's going in.
It just hung.
And then it's like it got so close.
Thank God.
Finally called a break.
That's what I was thinking, Alex. Like, it felt like the first time, like, we had that brutal game the week before, like, even all year. And it was like, finally, like, something went our way. It was like, you know, almost like a reward for everything, you know, we got put through, all the work we put in, things like that.
Yeah, between Tappan Zee and Scarsdale, we also lost on special teams. You know, it felt nice to be on the other end of things.
Yeah, we were close to being, like, pretty good. We were solid. Everyone was good. You know what I mean? There was not one, like, bad guy on the team.
Yeah,
and I think
5-4, right? 5-4.
Yeah.
5-4, but there was Tappan Zee, there was Scarsdale, were both 1-point losses.
Right.
And I
Somers was a close game.
only game we really got blown out was against Poughkeepsie. But
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk. And we had a great first half that game too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we were
like
We had them at half.
there was always this element of like I felt like we still like we kind of didn't play to our potential. So at this moment, it was kind of like, all right, like we got a break, like we got almost like a second life. And I just remember feeling really confident coming out of this game and going into the next week. Because again, like going into the year, I don't know about how you guys felt, but I was super confident. Like I thought we were going to be awesome. And I felt like we just like kind of needed this to get going. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but it's kind of how I remember leaving this game.
Going back to the Poughkeepsie game, that's the one game film that I never took out of the case. Never wanted to watch it again. I had probably the worst game that I've ever had in any year of ever playing football.
Joe, was that the game when Fred was like, he's like, we got one players crapping up and
I was throwing up at halftime, and I only played one.
Oh, you're telling me I threw the ball on Veer.
Yeah, they were so good.
Number 3, Josh Oliver. Man, I got
Yeah.
The fact that I know that kid's name.
I got slippery.
Robert Johnson, the nose guard too.
Oh,
yeah.
He went
Oh,
to
that's a
Sacred
big
Heart. I
boy.
lived next to him my freshman year.
Get out of here.
I saw him at a house party at
Random
Sacred Heart. It was great.
So, couple further things with this kick, you guys. Please add if you want. So, I love the sideline. If you look the sideline, if you just watch them, they're happy, then they pause, and then there's ecstasy. The pause is when the thing hits the bottom of the crossbar. You see everyone jumping up and down, pause, and jump up and down again. I think you find it to be the funniest thing. Number 2, I'm not sure if you guys remember this, but I definitely do. Something unique about this crossbar that we can now share 10 years later, and Nyack hopefully won't protest. And everything remember something about this particular crossbar and what it did a majority of the year.
It always slanted.
Yeah.
It was always slanted.
Okay. It always slanted, specifically leaning down to the left. So that right side was always propped up higher. So that left side would be maybe at 7 feet. The right side would be at 13 feet. Now, they fixed it for the game, but I like to think that this had maybe a little something to do with it. Maybe it wasn't exactly 100% even and gave us that little bounce there. So if you went to Eastchester High School, you always knew that this thing slanted down to the left.
Their right guard or tackle, it looks like he starts celebrating.
They do.
Yeah, right?
I think it's good.
Look, he starts jumping up and down.
It's crazy.
If it was slanted, I'm okay with it.
It's a game of inches.
Yep.
Right.
There's probably some 6th grader at middle school like hanging on it that Friday at recess.
Right.
Yeah, I paid him $10 that day.
Hey kid, get over here.
And if you can see Coach Fred on the bottom left, I don't know what he does. I don't know if he starts praising God at some point. But low, like kneeling down, which is typical of his stance, right? He's in the bottom left there. And then all of a sudden, he's going to be laying flat on the floor. Just praying to God. I don't know.
Was Santa up in the box for this game?
Santa's down low. Boyer's in the box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Santa's calling in the plays, if I remember correctly, to Greg.
Yep.
And
If Fred came too, he called time. You guys are both calling time.
I'm like, I was yelling at Fred, we got to call timeout. We're going to get too many men on the field. The last thing you want is get, put back there.
Time to air it out.
Air it out. So that gave us a very nice team win, and we went to play for the playoffs the following week for Somers. We won. Somers was a great team. We ended up falling down 20-0, made it 20-14, and ended up losing 27, 28, 14. Let's go through the stats quick, and then I'll get some final thoughts here. So, wasn't the prettiest offensive game we had. We were, for those that don't know, we were contemplating doing Eastchester Brewster this year, which we put up like a ton of points. Or Eastchester Nyack. We decided to go with this because it's a little bit crazy of an ending, and it was homecoming. But Greg finished 2 for 3 for 34 yards. His biggest pass was that waggle pass over to Jack Calvey. Carinci, 17 carries, 64 yards, and a touchdown. Junior Jack Calby, 7 for 53. Greg had 6 for 24. Yeah, Greg, this was a low rushing game for you. Usually put up over 60, 70 yards easily. But, they were probably keying on you a little bit. Pat Guido, 5 carries, 27 yards. Jack, even though he was a running back, he had a total of 34 yards receiving. Joe Arcidiacono, team high 12 tackles. I was joking with him. I'll share with you guys. He had 12 tackles. Like every single one of them was below the waist, though. Very good hawk tackler back in the day. Justin DeMasi had 9. Pat Guido had 7. Tom Cirillo and Eddie Suriano had 5 tackles. But Eddie had the big sack and the big safety to get us that 2-point lead in the third quarter. And Chad Marino had the forced fumble, and Rich Fonte had 2 fumble recoveries. So that is the final box score. Let me stop sharing. I just want to open it up to you guys now. If there's any final thoughts you want to share before I stop the recording, please do at this point.
It's always good to see a good defensive game. That was fun to see. Also, that was one of the games I didn't really remember a lot, so it was fun to kind of live it again.
Yeah, and you had an underrated game, Rob. They blitzed a ton from the outside and stopped those tosses a little bit, but 6 yards a carry, 5 yards a carry, nothing to be ashamed of.
I'll take it.
Like Greg's passing line, 2 for 3.
That's an Eastchester.
Yeah.
Efficiency. No, I echo what Rob says, man. It was really cool to I haven't seen any of these games probably since that year. So honestly, I remembered the final score in the last play. I didn't remember many plays in between, so it's pretty cool to relive it. I think this is pretty cool what you're doing with this platform right now. So appreciate you having us on.
Yeah, I've been having a blast. So my pleasure, seriously.
Yeah, Tony, thank you for putting this together. It was nice to get all of us on camera to watch together and relive some of the glory days.
Yeah, and something I want to say about Nick and your group in general is some guys on the Eastchester Bowl haven't seen each other in years. You guys are different. You guys are still like best friends. You guys see each other all the time. So this is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah, probably each other a little
Way
much.
too much.
Guys,
They're all going to be together this weekend. So they
Probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Well, all of us except Greg, I guess. We all played flag football together too, like 3-4 years ago. So.
Jester Nation, baby.
Yeah.
And we were very average at that, just like in high
Yeah.
We did beat the Pandas, though.
very average grade.
That's all that matters.
4 and 6 every year. Didn't matter. 4 and 6, 4 and 6, 4. You just mark it down. They're going to be 4.
Consistency, baby.
Good wins.
Yeah.
Consistent.
If you knew that, you would have if you knew that before seeing our senior year football, you would have guessed we went 5 and 4.
It was
It was a fun year.
A lot of fun this year, yeah. Great homecoming game. We had a lot of good juniors on the team that year, and I feel like that was, of all the games, that was the one defensive playbook or whatever that I felt like probably the plays that were actually called were the most different than what Fred prepared us for, besides that, a couple of those booths. So.
Ed, so you went on to play college ball at Brockport for 4 years. Just talk about your college memories and how they related to high school. Because a lot of college guys I've had on say they love college, they enjoyed college, but they remember more of their high school days. Is that true with you? It's okay to be honest.
Yeah, I think it's very different. I feel like there's definitely some D3 programs that are run more like, high school programs, and some, high school programs that are run more like college programs. So it really depends on what your experience is. I felt like Brockport did a really good job giving you the collegiate experience. So I would say that it was just, the whole entire speed of the game was just, up a notch, and it's D3. So, it's certainly not what you see on SEC football, but it's definitely a lot faster, and you have to know your assignments, and you get your ass kicked a lot, but you have to just keep coming back and keep fighting.
Yeah, and Eddie Suriano went on to Brockport and had a very good collegiate career. Defense end you played, right?
That's right. I didn't put up any offensive highlights. I probably didn't have any anyway. So.
Very good. What else, guys, before we wrap up?
Wish you guys would have thrown the ball like you do now when Balbo and I were receiving.
Oh, don't get me started on that, please.
Well, we run a different offense that requires a little more downfield passing, but we still run the ball a ton. We ran the ball still 70% the last 2 years, so it's not like we're not running the air show, trust me. But, yeah, it's, we have some good receivers, and it's a different type of offense. You know, it has its pros and cons.
I blame the coach.
Hey, I had a target this year. Somers, baby, fake punt. I missed it, but I had a target.
We used to joke on the line, though, in practice. Like, we wouldn't even really go to the huddle half the time because it would be like, what are we running? We're going to –
Yeah.
Anyway, we know
Midline.
you know?
I used to love probably running the scout team in practice because it was like my chance to just make catches. And
Red.
I got a nice scout team connection.
Red 40. I wonder what's coming.
Was that quarterback that year, Jess?
What's up?
Was I playing scout quarterback that year, or was someone else? Like, what player?
I think Greg did usually.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wasn't playing defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the 4th-string scout quarterback. You guys gave me that honor.
I'm sure we did. That sounds like something we do.
Did we even have a bounce? We had a backup quarterback, really. It's like,
I think it was like
please,
Tom.
Greg, don't get hurt.
Right?
Tom and then Galucci would have probably got.
Greg got hurt. We would have just probably walked off the field.
Greg, I was in the wings like that. I would have missed a block or two here and there.
I think
Just
Tom
kidding.
was the emergency guy, and then Galucci was always around. Like if
Oh, true. He would dress.
right,
Responding.
right.
Yeah.
He was a backup.
That's right. I remember him taking some snaps a couple times. I remember that now.
I don't remember that at all.
I don't either.
For practice, at least, I remember him getting in when practice was over. Okay, Fonte, come in like 3-4 plays. All right, that's it. Let's get out of here.
We're all hungry and just like trying to get out of there.
Great.
No, this was fun though. Oh, sorry.
Do more sophomores get moved up nowadays than when we were there? Because I feel like our year, like no sophomores got moved up until the very, very end.
Yeah, someone was saying that earlier. I think Balbo was, how we didn't have a lot of guys coming up. Yeah, we definitely do now. There was a stretch in like 2015, 2016 maybe, where we had some sophomores we asked and they said no. But for the most part, yeah, we have 2 or 3. Like in this year's team, we had 2 sophomores come up and both of them played and really helped us. So it's a little more common the last couple days, a couple times. Like Carinci, the 2 guys you were with in the Hamptons, they played since their sophomore year, both of them.
Gotcha.
So we definitely do it a lot more. But yeah, this team, like we had Marsico and Galucci not up with you guys, right? So maybe
I think Lolly was too, Spinelli. I think they came up those typical, like we would invite people up like the last 2 weeks of the year to dress once JV was kind of over.
Yeah, I remember Marsico was up at some point with us. It was the last game of the year. And Balbo had
on my interception.
He blew somebody up in the goal line. Balbo, it was short, but I remember him lighting somebody up.
Oh, I remember that play. Now you were close.
My only chance at a touchdown.
Your sophomore year, though, you kind of went off, though, right?
His freshman year. No, or whatever. Something. Even modified, you have like 9 touchdowns?
Me, yeah.
Roosevelt, he went for like 250 yards, right? As a sophomore?
Oh,
me?
Yeah, Rob, didn't you? Your sophomore year at Roosevelt?
Oh, we weren't talking about me.
No,
Roosevelt,
it was.
That's my first.
So while you ask,
Roosevelt, I got pulled up as a sophomore, and I didn't like go crazy that game. That was my first game. The Harrison game, I think
You had a good Harrison game. I remember that.
Harrison was running wild.
That was so funny, Rob. Small Rob behind like
wide
everybody
open.
at that time, like 6'4" our lineman.
The one year we had a huge offensive line.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, then he got to run behind Tom.
What division are they in now? Are they still in the same division that we were?
Harrison, yeah, they're in our league.
No, Eastchester. Are we still, what was it, B?
Hey,
hey,
Oh yeah, we're still same.
Hey.
We there's some bigger teams down, Clarkstown North, Clarkstown South. Teams like that are AA schools usually have been down. That makes things a little bit harder, but it's the same teams you would say. Nyack, Tappan Z, it's the same crews. Harrison, Pelham, we play a lot more now, which is fun.
Pelham was an old school rivalry, right?
Yeah, it was an old school. We've renewed it the last 3 years, which knock on wood, we've won the last 3. But it's fun. We've had some good matches with them.
So what would you say competition?
Go ahead, Ed.
Is competition up? Like, is it gotten harder, or is it?
It's so tough to say. They're all starting to blend together. I wouldn't say we're at like the height of Section 1 football, but like there's definitely some really good teams. Rye's excellent. Somers is excellent. John J. Crush River is excellent. There's still some really, really good teams, but it's different. It's not as physical. It's more like really athletic, in space, can throw, can catch, where teams in the past would just run you over. Somers could still do that, but like other teams, I don't know. It's tough to say. It's tough to compare the times. I always feel like back in history, the teams were better and more physical, but I don't know. You know, it's tough to really compare.
Don't we run shotgun now? Or
Yep.
no?
We run
offense.
We run shotgun. We run like power, running right at you, sort of thing with some option stuff. So it's like a mixture of the two offenses you used to run under center, just from shotgun, and we throw a little bit more. And I would say maybe 10 to 15 times a game, if that.
Oh, I would have loved that.
Tony, I know it's not us, so don't worry about being nice here. Top 3 teams in the last 20 years.
Yeah, that's a good question.
2000,
2003, 2015, and then you could argue 2007, 2008, 2009. Any of those 3 teams. I think my team, 2007, had the most success, but like I don't know if we were that much better than 2008, 2009. They just didn't have the run we went on.
It was 09 Bronner's year, or 08.
09 was Bronner. 08, you guys were really good, and then just.
I remember 08, 09. I don't know how those teams didn't make playoffs.
The 08, we got strong.
09, we had all the injuries, right? Johnny, Bronner, everybody got hurt that one game against some weird team like
Connecticut.
Yeah, Bronner busted his knee.
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, yeah, that hurt us. Yeah, that team, they beat Ryan, then started getting injured, and that team, unfortunately, just got the injury bug. But they were definitely up there. I would take honestly my 2007 offensive line with any of the teams in the last 20 years. Honestly, I think they were
Hudson, Doherty, Todino.
Young Nick Orlando. Like they were good, but those were 4 or 5 of the best teams we've had over the last 20 years. Cool. You guys had some potential though. You guys were right there. Ricky doesn't go down, and
nice backhanded compliment.
I think we did that.
We just didn't go on a win streak. We won, lost like back.
Yeah, they didn't have a great schedule either.
Loss.
Yeah.
Hey, the only thing online from us is our highlight tape and now a win. So
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Looks
We
great.
read history.
Yeah. So anything else, boys, before we stop the recording?
We've been recording?
Yeah. It's going on YouTube, Joe. What do you think? We're doing this for fun?
I bleep out my curse.
I thought we were just talking.
Talking shop.
We kind of are. Just now people can watch it.
This was fun though, Tony. It's good to get back together.
Yeah.
About
Yeah, I appreciate everything, Tony.
This was awesome.
No problem.
Thanks, Tom.
Like, even though we're just talking about the Nyack, I mean, throughout the game or watching the film, we talk about other games and kind of reminiscing on other plays as well. So it's kind of cool to, talk about other highlights of other games as well.
Yeah, it was a fun year. There was a lot of ups and downs, and there was a lot of cool plays and stuff, and I'm glad I was able to, help you guys relive that sort of thing. That's great.
I think that my favorite moment with Nick was when we got to do stand-up outside linebacker. It's like basically down the player and Nick Chubb in my mind. So.
When was that?
Against Poughkeepsie. They had no idea what we were doing. They're like, who are these fat guys standing up?
Reed, right.
Yeah, I would go to corner. I was at like cornerback. He did some weird things against Poughkeepsie. All I remember is, quick story, my brother's freshman year at JV. I guess you guys were watching tape, and he came home and he was just like, there was a play at Poughkeepsie where you ran in, meaning me, and I slid on my knees, and Josh Oliver just went right around me, and he said, and all Patio said was, I don't know what the hell Joe Archer's doing there. And he said he was so embarrassed and so terrible.
Sounds about right. Me throwing you under the bus.
Yeah.
Well, Poughkeepsie was great, so what can you do, honestly?
Where did they go?
I don't know. They were awesome. All those guys were good. They had a good coach.
Now, if we had won Tappan Z and then won this game and lost to Somers, we would have made playoffs at that point. Is that right?
If I remember correctly.
Should have beat Scarsdale too, realistically.
Yeah, but did that count really towards our record?
Yeah,
Like,
didn't-
No.
yeah.
That would have given us some confidence, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
That would have been like kickoff returns in one game. How often does that happen?
That would have been a fun game to watch too. Actually, Scarsdale's a lot going on.
If we won that game, we definitely would have watched it. That was
Oh,
first game. Greg's first
We're playing Scarsdale. too.
There was one play in Scars that was a fumble, and I remember thinking to myself, I have like 10 yards, so I can pick it up and run, see what happens. But I figured I'd probably fumble, so I just fell on it instead.
That one
Uh,
he cut open his arm too.
what happened?
Ed cut open his arm this Scarsdale game.
Nice.
I remember that.
Ricky, I went to the sideline, and Ricky just looked at it. He's like,
He
I
takes
just
you up,
remember-
right?
he used 2 entire rolls of tape. I was just like bleeding out.
Ricky taped you up.
No, he did. Ricky was like another trainer, I swear. That happened to me at Nyack, too. The first drive of the game, I looked down, my knee was just gushing blood. I still have a scar on my kneecap. And I came over to the sideline when the offense went back, and Ricky just laid me down and taped me up and went back in. Like, no one even went to the actual trainer. Like, it was just Ricky.
Yeah.
He didn't have a trainer at that point.
Or Dr.
Yeah, budget
Scott
cuts.
Boyer.
I think we didn't have a trainer.
Yeah, we have Pat now. You guys would love Pat. Pat's awesome. He's our trainer. But there was a couple of years that we didn't have a trainer. And listen, coaches and I like did like the bare minimum. We couldn't like do too much, especially in a game. So the fact Ricky helped out is great.
We didn't sell enough gold cards. Sold more gold cards. Could have paid for a trainer.
Gold cards and cookie dough.
Like it's effing Camp La-di-da.
My dad used to hate that. Every year he'd just be like, all right, how much money you need? I wouldn't sell a thing of those.
I think I still have a stack of gold cards. Just buy every single one.
I'll start using them again.
Here's the thing: they were good. They have great deals. If you used them, you'd save money. No one would have.
You probably go to those stores, they're probably like, what? What is this?
It's not 2011.
Logo on.
Oh, that's great. All right, well, I will stop the recording here, but if you guys want to hang on and talk and catch up, or you're just going to spend 4th of July weekend together, so I'm sure. But,
I'm going to Aruba.
That's right, you're going to Aruba. So
Me and Joey got a doubleheader tomorrow, guys. Come out and drink some beer.
Cut it.
We're 21. We're 21.
Got it.
We're 21.
We're almost 30 now.
I'm sorry. I thought you ended the recording. My bad.
Well, I'll end it now before you guys say anything else stupid. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. We'll have Week 10 next week, and we'll see you there.